The hushed cabin of Flight 876 was broken by a sharp cry of pain. A wave of shock rippled through the passengers as they turned to see the source of the disturbance. Seated in first class, a distinguished African-American man, his face contorted in agony, was nursing a scalding burn. Dark, bitter coffee, spilled from a clumsy flight attendant's tray, had drenched his face and neck. The attendant, a young woman named Emily, stood frozen, her eyes wide with horror. She had never imagined that her momentary lapse of attention could lead to such a catastrophic event. The man, whose name was Marcus Johnson, was not just a passenger, he was the CEO of the very airline they were flying on. As the cabin crew scrambled to assist the injured CEO, a hush fell over the passengers. They watched, a mixture of shock and curiosity etched on their faces. Some passengers, particularly those in first class, recognized Johnson immediately. They knew his reputation as a stern but fair leader, a man who demanded excellence from his employees. Johnson, however, was more than just a corporate titan. He was a symbol of success for many African Americans, a man who had risen from humble beginnings to the pinnacle of corporate America. His injury, a result of such a mundane incident, seemed almost surreal. As the flight attendants tended to Johnson's wounds, he sat quietly, his face a mask of pain and disbelief. He had never imagined that such a minor mishap could occur on one of his own airlines. The incident had not only caused him physical pain but also a deep sense of embarrassment and frustration. The flight was diverted to the nearest airport, where medical personnel were waiting to treat Johnson's injuries. As the plane descended, Johnson's mind raced. He thought about the implications of the incident, both for himself and for the airline. He knew that the media would have a field day with the story, and he braced himself for the inevitable scrutiny. Once on the ground, Johnson was rushed to a nearby hospital. The burn was severe, and he would require extensive treatment. As he lay in his hospital bed, he couldn't help but think about the young flight attendant, Emily. He wondered what had caused her to make such a careless mistake. Days turned into weeks as Johnson recovered from his injuries. During this time, he received countless messages of support from his colleagues, friends, and family. He was also inundated with media inquiries, each more intrusive than the last. As the public outcry grew, the airline faced intense scrutiny. Questions were raised about the training and supervision of flight attendants. The incident had tarnished the airline's reputation, and it would take time to restore public confidence. Meanwhile, Emily, the flight attendant, was suspended pending an investigation. She was devastated by the incident and the consequences it had brought upon her. She had always been a diligent and conscientious employee, and she could not understand how such a thing could have happened. The airline launched a thorough investigation into the incident. They reviewed the flight attendants' training records, the maintenance logs of the aircraft, and the procedures followed by the cabin crew. They also interviewed other flight attendants and passengers to gather more information. The investigation revealed that Emily had been under a great deal of stress in the weeks leading up to the incident. She had been working long hours and had been struggling to cope with a personal crisis. Her lapse of attention, while inexcusable, could be attributed to a combination of factors, including fatigue and emotional distress. The airline decided to take disciplinary action against Emily, but they also recognized that she was a valuable employee who had made a mistake. They offered her counseling and support to help her recover from the trauma of the incident. As for Johnson, he emerged from the ordeal with a renewed sense of purpose. He was determined to use his experience to improve the safety and service standards of the airline. He also became a vocal advocate for mental health awareness, urging people to prioritize their well-being. The incident, while unfortunate, had a profound impact on the lives of many people. It served as a reminder of the importance of human error and the need for compassion and understanding. It also highlighted the need for airlines to prioritize the safety and well-being of their passengers and crew.